just think, if they would have let Hitler into art school, if Hitler was allowed to be in art school because he got denied twice, it would be a different world.
What?
And he was underachieving gifted. Hitler was gifted.
What does that have to do with art?
No, I'm very
I was like,
fascinated.
wait, I was actually like, I know where she was going. I was like, oh gosh, wait, okay, explain.
Explain what? Hitler was gifted.
He didn't get to go to art school?
Yeah, he got denied from art school twice. And that's where he diverged and went down a different road.
So tell me what that means, though, for those underachieving gifted. Like, what do we need to do for those?
That's the thing. And that's what I try to find out is I try to find out where is their giftedness. And so I spend a good part looking through their files to try to figure out, okay, what gets you motivated? And so I have them fill out different things at the beginning of the school year. Who are you? What do you like to do? So I can try to play things in my head. Okay, what do I need to hook you in to get you going? So, and it's just like, I had a little girl who said, I said, oh, you said you're gifted. And she goes, no, I outgrew that in third grade. I said, oh, dear God. I said, baby girl, you did not outgrow your giftedness. She goes, well, they stopped letting me go to the class. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, you did not. You are gifted, okay? You did everything you were supposed to do. You were tested. You were labeled gifted. You're always going to be gifted. And I think the moment I told her that, something about her confidence level went up. So, and what I've seen is in my underachieving gifted kids is they don't have the confidence. And so it's like, okay, I know you can do it. I had another gifted girl, I'm like going, she fell asleep during one of my tests. And I'm like going, and she gave me a panic attack. I had an anxiety attack right in the middle of the test. I'm like, going, okay, I had to go get a soda, calm me down. And I'm like, going, girl, if you sleep during my test tomorrow, I might come unhinged. And she's like going, okay, bet. And I'm like going, okay, bet. And she goes, will you bring me a candy bar? And I'm like going, what kind, baby girl?
Yeah.
What kind of candy bar do you want? She goes, okay. And I don't even remember what it was. Okay, if I don't fall asleep, you're going to bring, oh no, it was a breakfast sandwich. I'm sorry. I said, yes, I will bring you a breakfast sandwich from Chick-fil-A. She goes, okay, all I have to do is stay focused on the test. I'm like, yes. And then you'll give me my sandwich. I said, yes. So the next day I come in right before the test. I said, look, I got you a drink. Happened to know what her favorite drink was. There was hash browns and there was a chicken biscuit. She's like, oh, that for me? I said, yeah. Stay awake. Don't snore during my test. And she stayed awake and she scored a 5. I was like,
gosh,
you've got to be kidding me. But she was one of my underachieving gifted kids who all year long wouldn't do work. And it was just like pulling teeth to get her on there. But it was just like, okay, what can I do for these kids?
You are the type of educator that we need more of, because this
Amen.
is where
Amen.
This is the type of thing that I feel is missing a lot from the school systems, at least that I've seen and hear about. And it's not because we don't have good teachers. We have great teachers. But I think the problem is that seeing that everyone as an individual and not looking at all these kids as like, okay, you are an 8th grader. You are 12 years old, and this statistically is what I'm going to do for all of you because all of you learn the same way, or all of you are motivated by the same thing. It's like you're picking out and seeing them as an individual. And I think that is like, it makes you amazing as an educator.
I had a girl this year, gifted, and I moved her next to me. First of all, I'm really loud, naturally. And she would go like this during class. So she couldn't, part of her could only hear part of me. And I'm like I'm sorry. Do you want to move away? She goes, no. And she wrote me a note and she was gifted. And she goes, thank you for being the first teacher to talk to me. Because she felt like she was an A student, so no one had to worry about her. So they just, she's okay. She's going to be fine. Let her go. And she would sit next to me and I'd sit there and talk to her and go, how's your day? So what's going on? Oh, I love your outfit. And she's like going, you're the first person to actually talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like going, and not talk at her. And I'm like going, for you to recognize that, I'm like going, that's pretty darn cool. And so we would talk all the time and just talk about her drawings and different things that she had involved. She wanted to be a tech person. She was the behind the scenes person at the musicals that we did. And I said, hey, have you heard about this college Full Sail? They do all kinds of techie stuff. She goes, no. And I went, really? I go, because if this is what you want to do, you might want to check that out. And so she actually went home and got online and looked it up. And she's like, oh my gosh, my parents didn't even know about this place. I'm like, well, sweetie, it's 2 minutes down the road from us.
Yeah, it's around the corner.
Orlando. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of how they're not all the same.